I have to remind you. Hi, everyone. Welcome. And thank you for sticking around until Friday. That's exciting. My name is Diana Montealegre. You can call me Diana. I've been married for 15 years and my husband still calls me Diana. So that's fine with me. I am an instructional designer for CU Boulder and an instructional designer and digital accessibility specialist for Front Range Community College. CU Boulder is my full-time job. Front Range, I work with them contract-wise. I'm going to be talking today about accessibility, and I'm going to be showing this tool that is an add-on for Chrome. I am not sure if it's available for other browsers, so don't quote me on that. It's called SilkTide, and I think it's a excellent tool for enhancing your accessibility needs and checks because let's face it, the HTML editors in all LMSs are very limited, and even in other applications like Word or Google Slides or Google Docs or PDF are limited. They will definitely check for alt text. They will check for, the headings in tables, but they won't tell you if you have a document and you make the document with quote unquote headings where you actually just make it bold, make it pretty, make it huge. It will tell you, it won't tell you that you have headings or not. You as a visual person, you will see it, but you won't know unless you actually check one by one. And the accessibility checkers that are built up in all of the applications won't tell you these things. It won't tell you the reading order either. It won't tell you many times. Now they're getting better on that, but many times it won't tell you that there is an issue with color contrast. So all of these little things, that's where SilkTie actually jumps in. I'm going to show it on Canvas, but it works with any application that you have in the web. So it can be D2L, it can be Blackboard, it can be actually your own blog or your own website that you have. So it's a great tool and I'm excited to show it today. And it's going to be fun because I just love to see how it works. So the first thing is, if you have questions, just post them in the chat. I'm going to be actually looking for it. Interrupt me. I don't have any problem with that. The first thing is the accessibility checker. So the accessibility checker is just going to analyze the entire page. It's not the greatest when it comes to LMSs. It is actually great when it's actually a website that you have created, that you have worked on it. Let's say that you have your own portfolio and that you have, coded that HTML or you have the help from all of those external websites that help you put it together. This will be great. For LMSs, it doesn't really check each individual page that you have inside your LMS. So let's say that I come here and I expected to actually check everything that I have inside my page. It does not do that. So if I come here and I click on accessibility checker, it's going to do it really fast because it's going to just analyze the things that are outside this page. So the only thing that is going to tell me, hey, you have issues with these links. Studio, because it's going to tell me that there is two links that have the same label, but each is taking me to different places, studio and studio. This studio actually takes me to the internal, repository of videos in that course. This one is actually the repositories that I have in general as a user. Then it has issues with this syllabus because probably it's taking me to somewhere else. And then it have issues because I have two links with the same name actually. So this syllabus is actually taking me to the syllabus that is inside Canvas, while this syllabus is taking me to the page that I created because I'm not a fan of this one. So every time that I see two links that have the same name and they're taking me to two different places, is gonna mark them. But if you notice, it's not gonna tell me, hey, let's say that I don't have an alt text here, or let's say that I have an issue with contrast that I can actually show you here. So here, for instance, if I come here and I click on the accessibility checker, it's going to tell me there is links with different destinations, that is the studio, but it's not telling me that this link is a disaster. It's not telling me also that this link is actually just very oh my god, English, it's not descriptive enough. It's just here, I don't know what it's taking me, and it's going to take me that I have text issues with these three texts here, and I will explain that later, but it's telling me that it fails. It's telling me where it fails, and I can actually change it depending on this. I can start playing around with the colors if you already know the hex code, or if you can actually just drag it along in the HTML editor. So going back, oops, going back here. So now I'm gonna start showing you. I'm gonna go back to uh, this page. So this is the Online Teaching Academy, is a course that we offer for any instructor that want to be part of it every February. Is my team, the Learning Design Group under the Continuing Education. It actually just walks through instructors or new instructors, or what we call GPTIs, that is graduate part-time instructors, on how to successfully teach an online course, student success, instructor presence, how to use Canvas, how to write syllabus, how to write proper learning objectives, all of that. So even us, we are a group, you're gonna see us here, we are a group of 6 instructional designer. Donna is not here because she wasn't part of it this year, but we also have Chris, who presented yesterday in AI, and he helps us a lot. We are all supposed to be quote unquote pros already as an IDs, and I'm gonna show you that even as we make mistakes. If I click on alt text in Silktide, it's gonna show me everything that has an alt text in this page. It's gonna tell me, yeah, the alt text on my profile image here, that's not something that I can actually change. That's in Canvas. Same with this one. That's something that I cannot change. That's Canvas, which they should remove that. If you notice, I have an alt text here that should get removed. This should be actually marked as decorative only, but for some reason, I actually, instead of doing that, I have is the name of the file. That's a big no-no in accessibility. And if I go down here, the only one that has the correct name is Amanda. The rest of us actually are impersonating Becky. It has Rebecca Rex, Rebecca Rex, Rebecca Rex. We all have that alt text. So a person that is using a screen reader, that's what they're gonna hear. They're gonna hear actually all of our pictures, all of our profile pictures as Rebecca Rex. Very confusing. And that's something that we did not cut on time this year. So that's a perfect example of, hey, even when you are quote unquote an expert, it's better to have a second pair of eyes, extra tools to help you navigate through all of this, because we can mess up, we can miss something. So this is a great tool. It will tell you everything that is tagged, and it will actually show you in labels. You can disable the labels and it won't show you, but it's definitely convenient to see where exactly the labels are and what they are. And it will show you a list here as well. If you click on any of the list, it will actually give you some, like a small recommendation, but you can actually click on any of the links and it will tell you take you to website to like read more about it. So it's great as well. Now I'm gonna go to the sample here that has issues with color contrast. So this color contrast, I'm not super fond of it, just because it's just for me to manually check. It doesn't tell me if it passes or no. The accessibility checker tells me that it passes, but this color contrast checker doesn't, unless that I do it manually. So I can actually take here this dropper, drag it through. Oh my God, I cannot actually drag it through the green, and it will tell me it fails, and it will tell me which exactly ratio it is. And like we have to have the 4.5 to 1 for normal text, and the 3.1 to 1 and 3 to 1 for large text. So definitely this is something that you can use to check manually, but I'm not a super fan of this because it just doesn't tell me, hey, it passes or it does not pass. Both Canvas and D2L, that are the LMSs that I'm working on right now, actually have this built in their HTML editor analyzer. So that's great. The alt text, like I mentioned, it already shows you. The screen reader, I'm not going to turn it on because it's actually fairly annoying if you're not used to that, but it's a great way for you to experience how a screen reader users reads or access the information. It will actually go step by step with everything that is in the page, and it will actually show it in the order that is set up by your LMS and by the page. This is going to be a little bit overwhelming here right now, but I'm going to show you how it looks. So I'm going to show the focus order. look, this is what a screen reader is gonna look. It's gonna read. They're gonna actually read this first, then they're gonna read this. They're gonna read all of this here first, and then they're gonna jump up here, 15, 16, 17, read all of this. This is annoying. And then they're gonna go into the actual page. This is why it's important to have a very well organized and labeled links, because a screen reader can actually navigate through links. So as a screen reader user, I can actually tell them, ignore all of these links and tell me straight to this page. If I don't have this well labeled, it won't actually allow me to do that. That's why having descriptive links and having headers is highly important for screen readers and for keyword users as well, because they can navigate through links and through headings only. If they cannot navigate actually through paragraph like one by one, it's the only way that they can do it. You can actually test it as well. If you actually start clicking tab, this is the only way that you can navigate. If you notice, it jumped from CU resources because that's a link. It did not jump to this. Didn't jump to this because it's not a link. It jumped immediately to email Amanda. Then it's going to jump to email Brad, email me, email Becky. It's just going to jump from link to link. And that's for keyword users. So that's why it's important to label as well. Any questions so far? I know that I tend to talk really fast. Excellent. So yeah, the focus already is gonna tell you here what exactly it is. You can click on it and it will actually take you to that navigation bar. You can analyze everything that you want here. So this is a great way for you to check how your website or your LMS is reading things. For those Canvas users, this is actually, let me just come here. So sorry for the switch back and forth. So as you know, Canvas have an option, and I believe D2L has that option as well, to create these headings here. I've noticed a lot of users use this heading to just add text, like kind of like a note. Like remember on Monday, April 17, I don't know if April 17 is a Monday, I'm just saying it. You have to, you have do the assignment on apocalypses and the quiz 3 and all of this. They use these headings for that. But if I go here, excuse me, if I go here and I click on headings, it will actually show me the labels of which headings it is. You will think that this heading 1 is what it says collapse, but actually heading 1 is a hidden heading that is not visually available for us as visual users, but it's just available for those that are using a screen reader, telling them, hey, you are now in the course modules. Oh, I'm so sorry. Then it shows that this is a heading 2. So every module name is a heading 2. And then if I scroll down here, these headings that I can add in Canvas are heading 3s. So that's why we should be careful on how we use these headings and that we actually follow that hierarchy that we're supposed to follow. Here, we clearly can see that it jumps from H1 to H2 to H3, and it follows that order correctly. But if I come here to this unaccessible page and I click on headings, it's going to tell me that there's only a heading 1. Even though this one looks like a heading, your September Accessibility Minute, the Disability Awareness Month, and this as well looks like a headings, they are not. They're actually, I just highlight them, made them bigger, made them bold. And for me as a visual learner, yes, I'm able to see that they are different. But for a screen reader user or for somebody that has low vision, they won't know that this is a heading. That's why it's important to label them. Now, if I actually check this one that is accessible, it will immediately tell me that those are headings. So this is my heading 1, this is my heading 2, this is my heading 3, and these are my headings 4s. So there is a complete difference between, actually putting the labels for navigation purposes and accessibility purposes, other than just for like looks. So this is another great tool that SilkTie has that many times we do not realize if a page has headings or not. It looks like it does, but it doesn't. And this will tell you if you do or not. Now, landmarks is a little bit more for my folks that are advanced when it comes to HTML. I'm going to go back to here on the Online Teaching Academy. Um, because it's gonna show me actually the block of HTML text and how they are organized. So it's gonna tell me, hey, this is a div tag that is a navigation. This is a div tag that is a navigation as well. This is a region. This is my main body of this page. This is a banner div tag. So all of these things is for people that are more advanced and they actually want to analyze their page. It's not very useful for LMSs. Like I said, the HTML editor inside an LMS is very limited, but it's great when you're actually creating your own websites, your own pages. SilkTie also, before I forget, has an option for PDFs when you're looking in, when you're viewing them in the website. It does not have an option for Google Documents or Google Presentations. Unfortunately, it cannot access that because Google doesn't give them permission. So it is unfortunate, but it is available for PDFs. Now, same with links. So I'm going to go back again to the one that is inaccessible. So the links here is this mess and is this mess. The link is going to tell me that I have links that are going to outside websites, outside Canvas, but it is not telling me that it's not a descriptive link. Okay, so it's just telling me, hey, this one is taking you to another page, this one is taking you to another page, and this one is taking you to another page. So that's one thing that I'm hoping that SelfType fixes soon, because I would like to actually see, hey, this is not a descriptive, meaningful hyperlink. Because honestly, if I come here as a screen reader user and the screen reader is telling me out loud all of this craziness, that's overwhelming. And I don't know what in the universe that link is taking me. Same with here. Okay, here can take me anywhere in the world, from actually a pretty picture to a virus. So that's why it's important to have those descriptive hyperlinks and not 100% trust, um, any accessibility checker that you have. So it's the same with the accessible version of it. So if I come here and I click on link, yeah, it's gonna tell me, hey, it's taking me to different links outside. This time they actually are accessible because this is telling me DAO passing newsletters website, the National Disability Employment Awareness Month. All of these are actually accessible because they are descriptive enough. They're telling me where they're taking me and what kind of content I'm gonna encounter once I click on it. But it's not telling me, hey, this is accessible or not. It's just indicating that there are links in there. Okay, now I'm gonna go into what 3 tools that they have, that they are simulators that I absolutely love. The first one is the improvision. So here actually you have several options to see how other people's experience the world when they are online. So aging eyes usually are these. So you can actually check how they will see it if they have 20% vision loss, and it starts getting worse depending on how bad it is. That's why it's important to, use the proper font size and font type, not sans serif and at least 19 when it comes to websites. I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to actually put in glare. There is some people that actually have issues with glare, like when your screen is getting hit by the sun. This is how they actually see it. You see how the contrast immediately changes. This contrast actually becomes really hard to read. The same, if I go here, I'm so sorry. I click on the wrong thing. So this contrast actually becomes even worse than it already is, and you can move it around to see how bad it becomes depending of how bad the person actually have their vision and all of that. Going back, yellowing, that actually happens to a lot of people that have dyslexia and have aging eyes as well, and other issues like glaucoma. And it actually tells you, here it gives you a short description. Their white doesn't it's not white anymore. It's like they have a layer over their eyes that it becomes yellowish, and this is how they have it. So that's why it's important to make sure that your contrast is enough, between background and foreground. I tend to use darker gray or black text because of this issue. There is a question, I think. It is absolutely free. So you can download it and you can actually add it to your browser, and it's free to use. So this is here, some people, what they have, what is called the tunnel vision. This is how they see things. So they will have to be navigating things, from side to side to be able to actually check things. So this is why it's important, again, the size of the font and the font type. The loss of central vision is the opposite. They actually have like if they have like a dot in the middle of the cornea, this is how they see things. So usually they have to look to the side to be able to work their peripheral vision a little bit more to be able to read things. So it's a great tool, again, because it shows you the different, impaired visions that you might have. The double vision, it looks like this, and the loss of contrast, like I was talking about before, it looks like this, but in this one, it might actually look a little bit worse. Actually, not that bad. But it's a few users that I have talked to is actually worse than this. So it becomes really hard to differentiate between the foreground and the background. So now the other tools that they have for simulation is color blindness. There is a wide range of color blindness, and I actually gonna go to the front page here to test this out because there is colors here. So this is color grading result, and it tells you actually the population that have it. You can see immediately how it looks. They don't really recognize colors. Everything is in grade scale. This is why it's important not to use color alone to convey meaning. Imagine if I am an instructor of poisonous things. I don't know. I'm just making things up here. And I have a list that says all mushrooms in green are poisonous and all mushrooms in um red are safe to eat, and I give that to my students, and I have a student that is actually affected by this. They won't know which ones are the ones that are safe to eat and which ones are the ones that are not safe to eat, because I'm just using colors to convey meaning. So that's why it's important to give a little bit more of information. You can keep using colors, but instead of just saying, okay, greens are good to eat, reds are not bad are bad to eat, just put a label on them as well. These ones are good, these ones are bad, make it into a table, and you can still continue to use color. So this one, the green up here is weak. You can see how it actually slightly changes the colors in our skins and our hair, especially Becky that has red hair. The same up here. You can notice, I can show you again. You can notice how it slightly changes. Same with this one, everything is actually start like looking more greenish. Our skin starts looking more greenish. So you can play around with all of this and see how everybody actually experience, colors when they have any kind of color blindness. And then finally, this one is my favorite because I'm dyslexic myself. When I'm not tired, I'm actually able to read pretty good. But when I'm tired, this is what starts happening. It's ants on a paper. Everything starts moving around. All of the letters start switching. So I'm still able to read it because I got used to it. But people that are not, and mine is not as severe, but somebody that is super severe, this is what they see constantly. If they actually have like really bad dyslexia, like my son has really bad dyslexia, this is what he usually sees, and that's why he mixes up the order of the letters of the order of the numbers. So this is a great exercise that you can actually show your instructors as well. Hey, this is why it's important that we have actually proper font size and proper font type, because imagine if this was, the funny looking fonts, it will be even harder for me, because the way that dyslexic people learn is that we actually recognize the pattern of the letters. So for me, E looks like this all the time, but if you actually put an E that has a little like, fit here or a little like decoration, I'm not going to be able to recognize it. I know that this says welcome because I'm able to recognize the letters and kind of put them together. But if I start actually adding decorative letters, like the ones that are, kind of like cursive and whatnot, it becomes harder for us to read. We're used to these and it makes it easier for us even when everything is moving. But if you start using funny or pretty fonts, it becomes really hard. Finally, one thing that I love about Silktide, if you want to test the responsiveness of your website, is that you can actually go here and it gives you different options on how your screen is going to look in the different, your website is going to look into the different screens. So MacBook Air is going to look like this. iPad mini is going to look like this. Oh, wow, that's not good. Look how our pictures actually become disordered. If we go to a galaxy, that is the one that I have, this is how it's going to look. So it's a great tool as well for you to start testing things and see how actually your website or your LMS renders in the different, screens. I think that is. Oh, that is unfortunate, Christine. Eesh. Yeah, that is really unfortunate. We are lucky that we actually can add all of the Chrome sections that we want. But maybe just do it in your personal computer. I don't know. I love this tool. I absolutely love this tool. And that's pretty much all that I have to show you today when it comes to this tool. This option, I'm not gonna show it because that option is for people that are a little bit more advanced because it shows you actually the HTML here and you can actually analyze the HTML, the ARIA code. If you're familiar with ARIA code, that is the addition that we could add it for accessibility within HTML. So you can actually go ahead if you are a coder and just check everything here, and while moving around, it will actually give you the option to have like that split view that you can look things around, see how everything is, being rendered, and if you have the proper tags, and if you're actually putting the proper deep tags and all of that stuff. And that's all I have to show you. If you want to learn more, they actually have a whole website. They have a paid version of it, but honestly, it's not that different. I think with the free version, you have quite a lot, and they actually have a lot of trainings and a lot of case studies. So I definitely invite you to like learn more about it and like just install it and just mess around with it. Any questions? You can come off um, the mic or just post it in the chat or whatever you feel comfortable with. Yeah, I can understand not using Chrome because Chrome actually sucks the life out of your RAM. It uses too much resources, too many resources. I want to check if this is available in Opera because I know Opera is actually pretty good when not consuming resources from your computer. But again, I'm not sure. I'm a Chrome user mostly because of the university, but we'll see. Yes, I know. I love Panorama as well. But Panorama is paid. That's the downside. If you have any questions when it comes to accessibility, just even if it's not self-taught, just you can ask. I have a lot of resources that I have created over the years. I have one that is on the basic accessibility guidelines. I can actually show you here real quick. I think I have it here. Sorry for the fast scroll, cover your eyes. uh, 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 um, digital accessibility. So this is a document that I put together quite a while ago, but I just give you tips. It's 2 pages. Hey, this is what you have to keep in mind for text formatting. This is what you have to keep in mind for headings. This is the basic, and I say the basic because tables can become quite complex when it comes to accessibility. This is what you have to keep in mind for hyperlinks, alternative text, color and contrast, reading order, and accessibility checker. Those what I call my 7 accessibility guidelines, or at least basic accessibility guidelines. And then I've been and I keep them updated, but I haven't updated for a while. I keep these cheat sheets that again is 2 pages, and it's pretty much a cheat sheet for accessibility in PowerPoint, in Word, in Canvas. I used to have one for D2L. I haven't worked on that for a while, but I can share that with you once I'm done as well. So if you want me to share any resources that I have that I create over the years, you can email me. I'm gonna just put my email here real quick. And I will be more than happy to share with you anything that you want. I'm going to be working actually this month and next month on short clips for accessibility tips, and they're going to be posted in the Learn and Decide group website, and it's going to be for the public, so you don't have to, work as CU. So if you want to check that out, I'm more than welcome to. I'm more than happy to share that with you as well. Thank you, Shauna. I appreciate it. Feel free to stay around and ask questions. If not, I am giving you actually some of your time back.
Yeah, and please fill out that survey for this session or any other sessions that you really enjoyed. The link is in the chat.
Thank you all, and I hope that you have a wonderful weekend.